Hello everyone. Welcome to Crafts with Crashley. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this fabulous flower cane. Yay! I know it's been a while since I've done a clay video, so I'm super excited about this. I'm going to be taking you step by step on how I made this cane. If you are brand new to this channel, please click that subscribe button. I'm almost at 3,000 and we are going to have a huge party with some giveaways. So don't forget to subscribe, hit the thumbs up if you like the content, and yeah, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. So let's get on to it. For this flower cane, we are going to start out with a Skinner blend. I used a light purple and white for my blend. Now you can use any two colors that you'd like. If you are unsure of how to do a Skinner blend, I do have a video on my channel on how to do that, and I can link that in the description below. Now any color that you do choose, you do want to make sure you have like one color be a lighter color than the other one. I just went with white because I love white in flowers, and I knew that purple and white would make a fabulous blend. I did decide to add some glitter to my blend, which you can absolutely do this. Why? I don't know, because glitter is fabulous and we just like to be extra sometimes. Now if you do decide to add glitter to your blend, make sure you get the extra fine glitter. You don't want to do chunky or it's going to mess up the consistency. But of course, glitter adds an extra special flair to the end result. It looks amazing, especially with flowers. Once the Skinner blend is blended to your preference, we're going to take some brown clay, or tan brown, light brown, whatever, and we're going to roll it out on our pasta machine on like the third to thickest setting. I know pasta machines are different, so whatever your thickest setting is, go down to the third thickest, if that makes sense. So it's going to be a little bit thinner, and I did leave my Skinner blend at the thickest setting of my pasta machine. And I'm just going to measure this about an inch wide, and I'm going to make sure it's the same length as my Skinner blend. Then we are just going to take our Skinner blend sheet here, and we're going to fold that thin piece of light brown clay over the bottom of it, and make sure you're folding it over the lighter color of your blend. Now when you fold it, it does not have to be even. The idea is we're making those veins in the petal, so you actually want one side to go up further than the other one, and don't worry about making this perfect. The best part about flowers is nothing is perfectly uniform with them. No matter what, it looks great, and I actually think inconsistencies like that makes a flower look more realistic and gives you a better end result for sure. Now we're going to take our sheet here and we're going to cut it in 5 even pieces. I have this nice cutting board here so it's easier for me to measure. I will have the link to this in the description below if you're interested in getting that. And so just a little tip here, I'm marking it with my knives. I'm giving this like little ticks so I know exactly where to cut to get my 5 even slices of this. Now we're going to take our 5 strips that we just cut and we're going to layer them on top of one another. We're going to make sure the one on top is right above the previous one, like so. Now just take your weird shaping thing that we just made and we're going to do some mushing here, and we're going to basically combine it and fold over the top to where we can flatten the whole thing out to where it's kind of even. Now I'm just taking my roller to flatten it out a little bit more to where I can get 3 even strips of this. And of course I'm using the same method where I kind of take it on my board here so I know exactly where I need to make my cuts. Now take those 3 slices and stack them on top of each other and make sure the veins that we made, those lines, they're going in the exact same direction. Now we're just going to work it and get the air out, and then we're going to flatten it to where we can cut it in half. Now with that same light brown clay you had at the beginning, we're going to take the same thinness that we used before, and we're going to just make another vein right up the middle, and we're going to make sure this one goes up a little bit further than the other ones. We're also going to add a thin sheet of the same brown directly on the bottom. Now I'm just taking my ruler to make sure everything is adhering to everything and it's all going to stay together. And this is what we have so far. I love the detail that those veins add. I think it's fabulous. Now I'm going to pinch in the corners to round the cane, and then we're going to take a piece of darker clay and we're going to wrap it around, and that part's very important because it gives the definition of the individual petals in the cane. So I chose this really dark blue clay, and I'm using all Premo, by the way. I believe this one's called Galaxy or Sparkle Galaxy, I don't know, it's the Premo clay, but you can use any darker clay. You want it to be darker than that brown you were using for the veins though, so it needs to be dark. And this strip is rolled out on the thickest setting of the pasta machine. Now we officially have our petal cane for our flower. So I like my flowers to have 5 individual petals. You can have as many petals as you'd like. I'm sticking with 5, so I'm going to reduce this to where I can get 5 even pieces. I'm just trimming off the ends here, where that would be the scrap clay. And now I'm going to make my even slices for my 5 petals. Now take each individual piece here and shape them to how you want your individual petals to be shaped in the cane. Now, if you do prefer a more realistic kind of petal shape like I'm doing here, a little tip: if you go to each individual side and you're going to pinch it where we have that long vein in the middle, that's the bottom, the middle of your petal. So pinch it on both sides and then go down the middle, and that helps keep it even throughout the entire piece. Now it's time to make the center part of the flower. I chose to go with a gold sparkly color. You could choose like yellow or orange or whatever you think would look good with the colors you chose for the petals. Now, with the same darker clay you used before to wrap each individual petal, we're going to use that same color to wrap our center part of the flower. And this is also rolled out on the pasta machine at the thickest setting. Once the center piece is wrapped in the darker clay, we are going to roll it and reduce it out to where it looks more proportioned with our petals. And now it's time to assemble the flower. To do this, I just take the individual petals and I just kind of smush them towards the center that we just made. And then once all 5 petals are around that center piece, I kind of just smush them from all angles. Then take your acrylic roller to just give it a quick little roll over the top, just to make sure everything is adhering together. Now it is time to do the filling of our cane. I am using white translucent, and I just took the white translucent and I put it through the pasta machine on the thickest setting, and I'm going to go around the flower, the whole thing here, one time. Now take some kind of flat tool. I had this black thing in my supplies, and I'm just pushing the clay down in between the petals more. It definitely helps keep them separated in the end cane. It really keeps the petals more defined. The huge thing about caning anything is you want every nook and cranny to be filled with your background clay. For me, that's the white translucent. So after I wrap the whole flower on the thickest setting of the white translucent, I just took like a big snake of that, and the gaps in between the petals here, I'm just taking even cuts, and I'm just going to shape these little snakes that I made here to fill the gap. We want the end cane to be a perfect circle. That way when we reduce, our flower is going to still come out in the end. So it's very important to shape these little pieces to where it's going to end up looking like a circle. That'll make more sense in just a second. Just watch. After we have those gaps filled, we're going to take another strip of the background color on the thickest setting of the pasta machine. We're going to go around the whole thing twice. Now we are ready to do my personal favorite part, which is reducing. Now this is super important to take your time. I'm using my roller to make sure all the gaps are filled in. Without doing that, then the end result could be all distorted, and nobody wants that because you just spent all this time doing that, right? So take your time and start working from the middle and expanding it outward. I did speed it up here, but I don't really move this fast. The reducing part actually probably takes me roughly 10 minutes because I go really slow. Moving it too fast risks the distortion, and again, I definitely don't want that. So once you get it warmed up and kind of moving a little, it gets easier after time because then you can roll the whole thing. Just don't do it too soon, and remember to work from the middle out. We're just kind of pushing and rolling and making sure everything stays even. Also, don't get too freaked out if you notice the ends aren't your pretty flowers anymore. It's just because your hands are touching the outside clay, and so it's getting warmer and it kind of just mushes out to make what I call like a butthole cane. Sorry if that's inappropriate. That's really what it looks like. So just because the outsides of it look kind of weird, the inside should stay together how it was before, as long as you took your time when reducing. Just continue to reduce until it's the size that you want. I typically end up using multiple different sizes, so I'll cut off a piece of it and then I'll keep reducing some so I have different sizes of the flower. moment of truth. Let's see how it turned out. Drum roll, please. There we have it. It turned out amazing. I hope you all enjoyed this. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit the thumbs up. Let me know what kind of flowers you want to see next. Have a fabulous day. Thanks again for watching.